Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Helldivers 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarel. Let's get to it. So today we're talking about the Termicide mission, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So the Termicide missions are the newest addition to the Helldivers repertoire of missions. This time around, you have to activate the Termicide tower that's going to prevent bugs from infesting this particular region. So in order to start it all up, you have to hit the button, and then as it powers up, all of a sudden you realize that the battery silos, 3 battery silos, have to be turned on. You've got the one main tower, the Termicide tower in the middle, which is the biggest one, and then you've got 3 smaller towers around the periphery of the map, or at least the center of the map, I should say, the compound that is the Termicide creation, dispersing, whatever it does here. So there's a few ways that you can go about it. This is a difficulty 7 mission, but what I'll talk about will work pretty much on any level. First of all, you're saying, what weapons should I bring in? Bring in the weapons that you would normally bring in on a Terminid mission. So anything that works well against the bugs. And of course, that will likely change as different weapons get buffed or nerfed. So whatever you currently use for bugs, I would say that would be the one. Currently, like the Punisher works fairly well. The Incendiary Shotgun works fairly well. Those are decent ones to have. And that charger went up a sheer face to get to me. And then you say, what about the stratagems? What stratagems should I bring in? You can bring in anti-tank, you can bring in autocannon, you can bring in recoilless rifle, you can bring in the flamethrower. Those are all pretty decent. You can bring in the arc bolt for the smaller guys, medium armor or less. I would say probably bring in 1 or 2 turrets, either missile turret or sentry, I should say. Missile sentry and autocannon or autocannon, depending on what you want to do. Now, in order to accomplish the task of activating these silos, you hit the button, but then you have to protect the silo as it's powering up. So you can see on the right hand side, now we're down to 2 silos, so 1's already done. So you can sit there and defend the silo. That's an option, and there are several ways to do it. Because once you hit the button, then you've got at least 3 bug breaches that are going to happen around the outside of each silo. So unlike the automaton extracting personnel mission where you have to keep the citizens alive or try to keep the citizens alive, this one doesn't work the same way. Like previously, you could have 1 or 2 people running around outside of the compound and kind of kiting the enemies there. This is not the case. This is not the case where you can do that here, unless you start it up and you've got 2 or 3 people that are around the outside that are drawing aggro and taking them away from the tower. Now you're going to want to keep especially the heavy armor bugs away from the battery silos. That's the chargers, the brood warriors, the big ones, the bile titans. All those guys are going to do a lot of damage to it. And of course, be aware that there is friendly fire on the battery silo, just like there's friendly fire in the rest of the game. So try not to shoot any of your ammunition at the silo, as it does kind of feel like you do more damage than the bugs. And you can see it'll be like stable, then it's like yellow unstable, and then it's red critically unstable, and then it powers down, and then you have to start over from 0% again. All the while defending against bugs. So you can stay within that area, and then of course call down stratagems if you've got, you know, lasers or railgun, rail cannon strikes, or whatever for the heavy armor, and then other options for lighter armor, like the Patriot exosuit, or a Tesla sentry, or what have you. So there's a variety of things that you can use. I would say that you want to try and use different stratagems per player. So although I'm using a recoilless, there's someone else that's using an exosuit. We've got a couple of sentries. I would advise against kind of area of attack sentries like the mortar sentry. So you could use an EMS, and that'll, you know, slow them down. But then you have to try and figure out a way to take them out before they get to the silo. So you've got a couple different options that you can use. You know, you can put sentries around the ring, close to, but not too close to the silo, and then they'll look for the enemies and shoot. Now, one of the other things that I've experienced working is kind of having people run around, hit a button, and then just run away. That sometimes works. You know, kind of like defending sometimes works and sometimes does not. If there's friendly fire on the battery silo, or if there's a Bile Titan or a charger, let alone, you know, 3 or 4 chargers or Bile Titans, obviously it's going to cause problems. With the nerf to the heavy armor individuals in question, it does make it slightly easier. Now, if you're waiting for cooldowns on your stratagems, you may consider activating a battery silo and then running for it, just to see if some of those enemies are going to follow you away from the silo, so that you can get that one completed. But as you'll see here, yeah, I mean, we've tried several times now to get this silo activated, and we've been having trouble. Now there's a decent number of Bile Titans in the area, even with having a lot of our stratagems come back off of cooldown, getting blindsided by heavy armor. It's really gets quite crazy. And of course, it's still true that the longer you're in a mission, the heavier the presence will be of that particular faction. So in terms of, you know, Terminids, you're going to see more chargers and more Bile Titans the longer you're in the mission. Now, if you're on a lower difficulty level, you're not going to see as many as a higher difficulty level. If you're doing a difficulty 9 Termicide mission, then you're going to see more anyway of these heavy armor individuals, both the Bile Titan and the Charger. But essentially, everything is going to be the same in terms of what strategy you want to do. Now, you can, as I said, bring in Exosuit. I would, in any mission, I would say, unless you're relatively far apart from each other, that you're not going to want to have more than one Exosuit. So if you're far apart, then yeah, why not? But if you have, 4 exosuits in close proximity, there is a good likelihood that someone is going to knock you out by accident. Yeah, trying to judiciously take these bugs out, but it didn't matter. We ended up having to restart. Gotta wait for it to reset and then restart it. Ooh, look at that. Right on top of us. Luckily, he turned around, made it a little bit easier. Now they did reduce the armor on the front section so that if you do hit it with a anti-tank, or if you hit it with a recoilless, something like that, you're actually doing a decent amount of damage. If you hit it squarely, you can usually hit them out, knock them out with one hit. Bile Titans, they're still a tough customer. Alright, we're up to 60% and still stable, so that's great. So things were looking pretty good. We had a handle on the heavy armor, so I was moving on to the next one.
Calling in reinforcements.
The third and final one. You can kind of tell when it's taking damage because it does kind of flip from white to red. It's unstable, but should be able to finish 99 there, and we did it. I was trying to get the third one started before the other one finished, just to see if we would have a lower presence of bugs versus what we've been getting. Especially as the time goes down. Now, we've only been in just over 12 minutes in this mission. So obviously, if it's true, which so far there's no reason not to believe it, that the longer you're in the mission, the heavier the presence gets, so the more enemies there are going to be, whether that's bots, bugs, whatever. So trying to both do a good job defending the silo, but also doing it quickly is kind of the sweet point, the sweet spot where you want to be. You want to do it quickly, but you also want to do it well. So whatever strategy you employ, you definitely want to do so quickly, but you don't want to be you don't want to be in the mission too long, because that's going to cause problems, because you're going to have more Chargers, more Bile Titans, etc. There we go. We got them all. That last one actually wasn't that bad for whatever reason. I know there was one time where there was it was just empty. We activated one battery silo, and there were no enemies. No bug breaches for whatever reason, whether it was intended or whether it was a glitch. Don't know. but just everyone just kind of stood around the silo looking around, just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But it didn't happen. So it may happen to you, but don't expect it. Expect to have bug breaches, at least 3, if not 4. Now, once you're done with that, you're going to activate the tower. You have to connect the Termicide tower to the 3 battery towers, and then call in an extraction and get out. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Your safe extraction.
Calling in extraction.
Extraction shuttle inbound.
Requesting sentry. Calling down a sentry. Say hello to democracy! Southwest. Marking location. Bag's empty. Reloading! Have a taste of democracy! Reinforcing.
ETA 1 minute.
Democracy has landed. On my position.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
Reloading.
ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
Calling down supply.
South, close. ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
Requesting orbital strike. Affirmative.
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction zone. Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing.
Reloading.
Have a taste of democracy.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds.
Follow me.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
I can almost hear the death throes of the bugs as the Termicide suffuses their trachea.
PlayStation